Hello and welcome to the Shakespearean. I'm your host, Shakespeare himself. Today we'll be covering Act 5 of my favorite book, Romeo and Juliet. Our guests tonight are Friar Lawrence, Juliet, and Romeo. Juliet will be joining us later on. Anyways, let's get on with the show. The first question I have is for Friar Lawrence. How did you feel when you found out that Romeo got the poison to kill himself after not getting the letter? Explain the plan involving Juliet and time.
I was very panicked when I heard what he had done because it had all the details of the plan that Juliet was actually alive written in the letter. I was also very shocked that he came to the conclusion that he would kill himself for a girl he doesn't even know.
I am very astonished that you even say such a thing. I do love her and I know her very well. How can you even talk about her when she isn't even here?
Whoa. Let's save the arguments for backstage. Next question. Romeo, how did you feel when you found Juliet dead? And why did you choose to kill yourself after?
Well, I felt very melancholy and I didn't think I could bear living without her. She is so beautiful and she shouldn't have done something like that to herself.
You don't even know her. How could you know you can't live without her?
Fight?
Romeo, why did you kill Paris in the Capulet vault?
Because he was trying to take my Juliet away from me and she's my wife.
But Juliet was dead, so he couldn't take her away from you.
But she's still my wife, regardless if she's dead or alive. I love her. I know her very well.
Oh, I know you did. Alright, it's time for the commercial break. And we're back. This time, Juliet is going to be joining us.
Juliet?
Bye, Romeo.
Juliet! Where's Romeo?
Romeo's not here right now. He had to go to another appointment. But we have a question for you.
Okay.
How did you feel when you found out you had to marry Paris?
I was very devastated when I thought I was going to have to marry Paris. I could not live without Romeo, so I decided to go to Friar Lawrence in hopes that he would help me get out of this arranged marriage so that I can just be with Romeo.
How did you know Romeo was your one true love?
Right when I first set my eyes on him, I was instantly in love. He was just so handsome and kind, I knew that he was the one for me.
Now, Friar Lawrence, how did you feel when Juliet was so eager to take the sleeping potion and pretend to be dead, just so she could see Romeo again? And why did you decide to give it to her?
I was surprised that she came to me so upset. I didn't think that she could really be in love with Romeo, so I mentioned the potion to her and waited for her reaction. I didn't think that she would actually take it, but when she begged me for it, I knew that she was really in love.
Now we are going to have some of our fans tweet us with some questions they have for our guests on Romeo and Juliet. The first tweet is from @ShakespeareLover03. Friar Lawrence, do you think that if you were there in time before Romeo bought the poison, that you could have thwarted him from doing so?
I think that I could have thwarted him from doing so because Romeo trusts me and I would have told him about the plan, which would have stopped him.
Romeo will be back for one more question, and then Juliet will be back for her final question. Romeo. Hi, Romeo.
Hi, Shakespeare.
Your tweet is from @Romeo_fans. Romeo, why didn't you go to Friar Lawrence to get the potion?
I didn't go to Friar Lawrence because I knew he was going to ask me all these questions and try to talk me out of it, and I really wasn't in the mood because I was very melancholy and couldn't be bothered.
Romeo has to leave us to go to another interview. The next tweet is for Juliet. Juliet, your tweet is from @TeenWolf_Shakespeare. Juliet, what was your reaction when you saw Paris and Romeo dead? Juliet, where'd you go?
I was was very shocked and confused because I thought Friar Lawrence gave him the letter explaining the plan that I was really alive. I don't know what to do without him. I love him so much.
Well, let's end this on a heartfelt note. The star-crossed lovers can be happy together in heaven. That's all we have time for today. Tune into the Shakespearean next week for an overview of Hamlet.
That you